Hello friends. So I've realized that I have lost the little intro clip for this vlog. So I'm gonna go ahead and just film it here. Okay, so this is the Can We Trust Brie vlog. And this one goes just like all the rest of them that we've done so far have gone. We've been given 3 books. The group book is The Library of the Unwritten, which is not the first book I'll be reading, or that I did read rather, because I finished it yesterday in one sitting. And then we each picked 2 other books that Brie gave us from a list of books that she's given like 4 to 5 stars. I think maybe some of them were 3, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the ones that I picked, she gave both of them 4 or 5 stars. So Library of the Unwritten is the big group book, but I'm not reading that right now. I started and finished Daughter of No Worlds yesterday. So I listened to the audiobook and I'm giving it 4.75 stars. It was good. The only other book by this author that I've read is Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I ended up lowering that score to 4.25. It had been 4.5, but I did like Daughter of No Worlds a lot better. This is a fantasy book about a girl. That's all I can tell you. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna look up the synopsis because am I good at telling you what books are about? No. I also don't have any clips for this one where I'm like updating you about what the book is about or anything like that, because like I said, I did sit down and basically I basically laid in bed yesterday and listened to this book all in one sitting. The audio is really good, but I think it might be Audible exclusive. So this is the first book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. I think it's a trilogy, and came out in 2021. So this is a fantasy book about a former slave who is fighting for justice. There's a dark magic that's entangling her fate with a warrior's fate, and our main female character was ripped from her homeland as a child, and she basically has escaped with her life. So that's what this book is about. I will be continuing this series. I probably will wait till I have the rest of the audiobooks. I really did enjoy the audiobook. I'd probably give the audiobook like a 4 star. It was fine, but I did enjoy the timeline. Anyways, so I did enjoy the timeline. No, I did enjoy the plot to this story, and this one was a lot more political than Serpent of the Wings of Night, which is the only thing that I have to really compare it to because it's the only other thing I've read by this person. So like by this author, which is Chris Broadbent. So I really did like this book. I'm giving it 4.75 stars. And yeah, so I can trust Brie when it comes to that. And then the book that I'm currently working on is Neon Gods, which I don't have sitting in front of me. It's in the other room. But I am working on Neon Gods. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling written by Katie Robert. And it is the first book the first full-length novel in the Dark Olympus series. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm reading that. I am about 5 chapters in to this book. I am enjoying it so far. It's a fun time. I think that I do enjoy reading this book with my eyes more than the audiobook. Like the audio is fine. I prefer the male narrator over the female narrator. I am particularly picky when it comes to audiobooks, and I'm perfectly aware of that. So I know a lot of people really like this audiobook. It's not a bad audiobook, it's just not necessarily my favorite one. I don't know that I love the female female narrator. The male narrator, is cool and great and grand, but I'm not, I don't know if I'm feeling the female one. But that's all that I really have at the moment. So I'll be back when I'm like 50% through Neon Gods. I'm hoping to get to chapter 15 today, which is about the 50% mark, and then I'll be back so we can check in and chat about how I'm feeling. But Bree predicts that this will be a 6-star book for me, so fingers crossed. Okay, but I'll be back later to check in when I'm 50% through. Hi friends, so I've made it to page 164 of Neon Gods, which is not quite as far as I wanted to make it yesterday. It's about 45%, so I wanted to make it 50%, but 45 is good enough, I guess. I'm on chapter 13, which is a Hades chapter. So here's what I'm going to say about this book. I am enjoying this book. I think that it's fun. I think that the spice is written very well. If Katie Robert knows how to do one thing, she knows how to write a spicy scene. My main issue with this book is actually with the audiobook and not the book itself. I cannot stand the female narrator's voice that she uses for Hades. I can't stand it. First of all, she sounds like gruff, and she just does not sound good.
Hey, are you there?
She does not sound good. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me think. Yeah, I don't like it. I wish that this was a dual narration instead of a duet narration. I think that's what it is. No, a duet. I wish it was a duet narration instead of dual narration. His voice for Persephone doesn't bother me very much. It's kind of like the typical like male narrator voice for a female. Her voice though, for him, straight to jail. But otherwise, I'm having a good time with this one. It's sitting at like 4.75. Right. Focus to 5 stars. So I'll be back. Hello friends, so we have made it to 51%. I'm on page 15. I am still loving this. If it doesn't end up being at least 5 stars, I will be really surprised. Like something crazy would have to happen at the end for me to decide this is not a 5-star book. I will say I don't know that I would necessarily recommend the audio. It's not my favorite way to read this book. I think if I reread this at any point, which might happen, I will probably read the rest of the series physically, unless it's different narrators for each book. I don't like the woman in this. So, but I wanted to pop in and let you know I got to 50%, and I'll let you know when I finish. Hello friends, I'm back. So I finished Neon Gods last night. There is still a bookmark in here because I decided at like chapter 20 that I would just listen to Hades. Sorry if you can hear the coffee maker, but I would listen to Hades chapters, and then I just read Persephone's chapters on my iPad. Or on my Kindle, not my iPad. I'm giving this 6 stars. I absolutely love this book. Now, I will say that Katie Robert really knows how to write good smut scenes. If you're going into this expecting it to be like the kinkiest thing you've ever read, I feel like your expectation is misguided. And the reason I say that is not to be rude, but because Katie Robert stuck very true to the Hades and Persephone story, and because of that, while I don't think Persephone is a virgin in this book, she is not experienced. So he doesn't like immediately like make her have like public sex. I think that doesn't even happen to like the end. He doesn't like, he's not like immediately like whipped in chains. Like he doesn't even really have penetrative sex with her at the beginning. So I feel like this book stuck really true to that. There is a lot of spice in this. So For the average person, this is probably at least a 4 chili pepper. For me, I'm giving it a 2 chili pepper, but that's just because I read really dark, really spicy romance a lot. So this is like, the spice was good. It was very well written, but it wasn't like the spiciest thing I ever read. So I have finished this book. I'm giving it 6 stars. I will be continuing this series. I actually want to buy the rest so that I have them all on my shelf. But for now, I'll just get them like from the library or Hoopla or whatever. And yeah, absolutely wonderful book. Absolutely loved it. The next book that I'm reading is The Library of the Unwritten. I am 2 chapters into this. I'm like 4% in. I don't know if I'm supposed to know what's going on in this right now. The first chapter is just about this this character. She escapes out of a book. They put her back in the book, and then we're following like they're about to go on an adventure to find another character that's lost in Seattle. So the premise of this book, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I have no idea, but the premise of this book is the Library of the Unwritten resides in hell. And this is a library in hell where all of the books that are unfinished, go, and they kind of go there to die, essentially. Like they're just there to be there. So that's the premise of this book. I'm going to give this until probably 20 to 25% before I decide if I am enjoying this book or not. Right now, I'm a little bit confused. I will say that I did start it last night while I was like laying down after I had finished Neon Gods. So I ended up falling asleep. But I kind of understand what's going on, I think. So I'm going to be working on this today and hopefully get it done. It's not a super long book. I do have the audio also if I decide that like I just can't do it. It's only about 8.5 hours long. But we'll see how I feel. So I'm going to go drink some coffee and read some more of this and see how I feel. I may switch over to the audiobook because I do want to work on my digital reading journal today. I'm building my own digital reading journal, so maybe I'll get some footage of that because I know that Bree does journaling and planning, and Bree started on planner YouTube like I did. So even though we don't both do the same thing, like she's paper and I'm not, I think it would be fun to do that. So I'll do that. I have some colors I need to change and then some things that I need to link today. So it's going to be a pretty heavy day on that, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go read some of this book, pray for me that I like it, and that's it. So I will be back when I've made a dent in this or I've made a decision about how I feel about the book. But so far for this vlog, we're doing good, you know? So we've had a 4.75 and a 6 star. Also, Neon Gods is my best book of the year, which means that it's knocked Icebreaker out, but I still love Icebreaker. So, okay, goodbye. Hello. I am back to finish up this vlog. Unfortunately, I am going to be DNFing The Library of the Unwritten. I tried reading it on my Kindle. I tried listening to this book as an as an audiobook, and I don't know what's happening. I'm not enjoying myself. So I'm going to have to put this down. I'm actually really surprised because I did have 2 fantasy books for this collab, and one of them I gave 4.75 stars, which was Daughter of No Worlds. I really did enjoy that book. I've also read Serpent in the Wings of Night by that same author, and I gave it 4.25 stars. So I do enjoy that author, and I will be continuing those series. And then I will be continuing the Dark Olympus series as well. I actually have the second book already on hold, so I'm hoping it'll fit somewhere in September for me to continue that series. because I really did enjoy Neon Gods, but Library of the Unwritten was a miss for me. I didn't really understand what was happening, and I also didn't care. And I felt like the first like 20% of the book was really good. I was really like enjoying myself, and then I just once we started adventuring, I kind of just felt like we were on a quest to nowhere. Like I just felt like we were just, it like reminded me of like the walking parts of Lord of the Rings, where I felt like we were, yes, like there was an end goal, but like I didn't care enough to get there. And I love Lord of the Rings, so like that's probably a bad comparison, but I just felt like we were on this mission and I didn't really know where we were going with it, and I got bored. So unfortunately I did have to DNF Library of the Unwritten, but the other two books were definitely hits for me. I will always take recommendations from Brianna for romance, especially spicy romance, and honestly the Carissa Broadbent book, Daughter of No Worlds, was awesome as well. So that is all that I have for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that if you haven't watched all of my other friends, that you follow the playlist or go click on their name down below. And yeah, all my links are down below. And that's all for me today. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.